Hello there everyone and welcome back to Lovely Grind. My name is Michael Prevey and my website is www.lovelygrind.com. So we're going to find blog posts about spiritual growth, professional fulfillment, and a balanced approach to total health. Welcome back to the series of YouTube videos that I'm doing about prescription drug withdrawal and surviving that withdrawal and finding healing after that withdrawal. For those of you who haven't seen my videos previously, my personal withdrawal story involves the SSRI antidepressant Paxil and the Benzo medication Xanax. Those were prescriptions that I was given back when I was in college for some social anxiety and panic attacks. And despite some reservations, I continued taking those medications for nearly a decade and a half until I decided right around my mid-30s that it was time to try giving it a shot, getting off of them once and for good. And I did that because I wanted my life to get better, because I was seeing negative effects from the medications, how they were affecting me physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And so I thought my life would get better pretty quickly when I stopped taking them. But instead, I was hit by a withdrawal, and for me, it was a protracted withdrawal, one that lasted a few months and then a couple years. And it was a scary experience and a challenging experience, but I was able to survive it, find healing, and then ultimately find perspective and some lessons and tips and knowledge to share with all of you out there who are possibly still going through such an experience. The topic of today's video is family. What does it feel like to be the family member of someone going through withdrawal from a benzo or an antidepressant? What does it feel like when you're going through withdrawal to try explaining the situation to family members? What sort of burdens are laid upon the family members, and what sort of support can they truly offer those who are going through the withdrawal and healing scenario? Well, I'll start by sharing some of what I went through. I've been married now for about 16 years, and so when I was going through it, obviously, my wife was scared, and she bore the brunt of dealing with my symptoms on a daily basis. She was the one who was changing the sheets at night when I was soaking the bed with sweat every single night. She was the one who was taking the phone calls from the office when I'd call from my cubicle and say, listen, I think I'm really finished this time. I think it's over. I can't do this anymore, and so forth. She was the one that would hear the negativity and the one that would be exposed to the anxiety and depression and so forth. And she was the one that would offer me reassurance and support and, trust me, at times tough love. She was the one that helped me find perspective and some joy. She was the one that helped me keep moving forward. But it was difficult for her to understand the situation, just as it was difficult for me to understand the situation at first. It took us a while to understand what it was. And I'm sure that's what a lot of you going out there can relate to. If you're trying to explain it to your family members, perhaps you've just recently begun to understand it yourself. And so it takes a while for family members to understand what is withdrawal. Benzo or antidepressant, or perhaps like an antipsychotic is mixed in there sometimes, because doctors throw a truckload of medications at the situation when someone goes to the doctor complaining of withdrawal symptoms. And there's not a lot of great places to find an explanation. The doctors don't explain it, they deny it a lot of times. And family members are confused. They want to understand what we're going through, but the doctor's saying it doesn't exist. The websites and videos, a lot of times there's people who seem rather unhinged making videos about it or whatever, and it's hard to take that information seriously. So family members are confused. They want to help, they want to believe, but oftentimes they're confused. So if you're going through it and trying to explain the situation to your family members, do so to the best of your ability in clear language. Point them to well-written websites. Point them to thoughtfully made videos. Give them some solid information about what this is, some hopeful information. It's the first step of getting over this is getting a handle on it. And part of that is describing it to family and other friends that might be the people we rely on for support. So if you're going through it, describe it to your family and friends, share important information about it with them. And if you're a family member, pay attention to that information. Try to understand it. It is a very real scenario. It's a very common scenario for many people who take these drugs. It's a very common scenario. It can last a little while sometimes. It's a very individual process. Everyone's timeline is different. The way it plays out for everyone is different, but I believe we all find healing from it. So that's an important thing to remember too. I found healing even though I was on multiple medications for many years, and even though my withdrawal lasted a while. Things got a little better and then a lot better. And so I want to hammer that home to any family members who might be watching today. Just give the support needed for people to keep moving forward one day at a time until those big corners are turned, because they will turn. But people need support going through it, and they need someone to keep them on track oftentimes. Not just with a taper plan and so forth, although that's important, but also mentally and emotionally and spiritually. They need someone to remind them of the good in the world and the good that's going to be waiting for them when the process is over. So if you're a family member, continue to offer that support. It's so important. Know that you're on your way to getting your loved one returned to you even stronger than before. But also, I can understand that you're tired. It's a process that is draining. Family members that are out there dealing with a loved one who's going through this, they're going to be suffering some caregiver's fatigue, so to speak. Because we really, when we're going through it, it seems like we're breaking down every single day, and sometimes multiple times a day, and it seems like it's hard for us to hold on to the positive information and the positive emotions and so forth. And so it can be draining on the people who are, trying to love us and lend us support. It doesn't mean that we should stop talking about it. We have to keep expressing ourselves. We have to keep talking about it. We can't let these things bottle up. We can't give in to the compulsion to give in to isolation. We have to keep finding the proper support, but we also have to realize that there's limitations to what any single person can absorb in a given day. So, keep talking about it, but once you've said your piece for the day, understand that, okay, maybe the family member needs a break from it until the next day, and so forth. And if you're a family member, you deserve a lot of thanks for listening. You deserve a lot of gratitude. That's another thing I want to say to everyone out there. If you've got someone who's supporting you, whether it's a spouse or a brother or sister or a good friend or a son or daughter or a parent, whatever it is, thank them. Give them their due thanks each and every day, because it's difficult for them as well. Stay close to each other though. Don't let the process separate you or drive a wedge between you. Get closer because of it. And that's what I urge people to do spiritually as well. Get closer to God. Don't let it draw a wedge in between you and God. Get closer to things that are important. Cling to those things, and that's what's going to see you through. So I hope that some of you out there will share this video with your family members, and I hope that you'll share it with others as well. And I hope that family members out there who might watch it will find a level of comfort and support in it, and will feel good about gaining the knowledge that videos like this offer, and that places like my website offer, lovelygrind.com. Go there, you can read about my story and read about some tips to get through the process and make it a little easier on everyone, the family members included. My name is Michael Prevey. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Go to my website, lovelygrind.com, sign up for the monthly newsletter. I hope that you'll stay connected there and here on this channel all year round, so that you'll find information and support. Until next time, please remember to take care of yourself and your dreams.